Welcome back to One Comic Book a Day, where we're covering the final story in Superman 91, Great Caesar's Ghost. A story that you have to have watched at least the show to quite understand what exactly the impetus of the premise of this comic is. So essentially, Perry says Great Caesar's Ghost a lot. He exclaims it. Now, this is true for the TV show. It might be true for the radio show, but I haven't listened to enough of the radio show to know that for certain, because the TV show started in 1952 and we're well on our way to 1954 at this point. That it is sort of known as Perry's catchphrase. It's still used in the comics today. And I wouldn't say Great Caesar's Ghost is never used in the comic. It's actually used quite often, but I would say Superman uses it more times than not than say Perry. Perry's barely in the comics. There are some Perry-centric stories. They're few and far between, but it's really more of a Superman thing than a Perry thing, unless you're watching the TV show. But they use the fact that you're probably watching the TV show if you're reading the Superman comic, that you would know he says Great Caesar's Ghost a lot. And he says Great Caesar's Ghost a lot in the story. Now, Perry isn't doing very well, and he's being really mean to one of the writers named Waldo. So essentially, a massive prank is pulled on him. He says Great Caesar's Ghost so many times, Caesar shows up and demands he does something worthy of Caesar. And then Perry pulls a gun and shoots Caesar. It's amazing how quickly Perry pulls out a gun. It's fascinating how many times that the Daily Planet has been attacked and Perry has never once pulled out that gun. I guess he probably got the gun as a cause from all the times that the Daily Planet has been attacked, and possibly him being kidnapped. He's definitely been threatened. I don't think he's been kidnapped. Lois has been kidnapped many times, and Jimmy's been kidnapped too, so I guess it would be kind of smart to have a gun in that office, except for the fact that Superman keeps showing up no matter what. And now by pulling some sort of feat worthy of Caesar, he doesn't really do that. That's Superman. Superman goes around and does the feats here. But nothing he really does here is all that interesting or has much effect on the comic, other than Perry keeps doing something to make himself more self-assertive, that he ends up earning a new contract, because he may have been fired if he hadn't, and gets a pay raise from the publisher, who I think's name is Hill. Oh, and it's also about getting Waldo, who Perry had been mean to throughout the story, who turns out to be the ghost, Caesar some courage, because now Perry has been afraid of him. It's pretty clearly him too. They're drawn very similar. Like, they barely try to disguise it at all. Superman 91's been maybe one of the weaker Superman comics that has come out in a while. That middle story was just awful, and this story is barely held together and is on a premise that's not true in the comics. Okay, that is it from Superman 91, Great Caesar's Ghost. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications when new videos up. I do this Monday through Friday, but Fridays is Bat Friday, where I cover a Batman story, either Detective Comics or Batman. Until next time, let's ponder the question, whatever did happen to the men of tomorrow. And without Superman, could they go to these elaborate freaking pranks on people? Just like a lot of time on their hands for being reporters. Okay, have a great day.